Time for another installment of how long does it take to knit something, and today that something is going to be a hat. So it's currently 9:35 in the morning. It's a terrible day outside. It's very cold and dark and rainy. So I'm going to sit here with my yarn and my double pointed needles, and I'm not going to leave until I have a hat on my head, and we're going to see how long it takes to knit a hat. I already did a video on this with a scarf, and I think it turned out to take like 6 hours to knit a scarf. Technically, a hat is usually smaller than a scarf. It takes up less yarn. So I would hesitate to guess that it would hopefully take less than 6 hours. So I'm just gonna dive right into it. I haven't done any pre-planning whatsoever, however unwise that is of me to do. I know that, I've knit hats on these double pointed needles before, and I've used yarn that's similar to this yarn, but I haven't done any swatching or gauging or any of that stuff because I'm impatient, and it's 9:37 now, and I need to get a hat started. So I'm just gonna dive in. I'm gonna cast on 68 stitches because that's what I've done before in the past, and that seems to work for my head. And hopefully it should work fine with these needles and this yarn. So this is about speed, but also quality. I want to have a nice hat at the end of this. But we're going to find out how long it takes to knit a hat. So casting on, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 66, 67, 68. There's 68 stitches. I'm going to dive into my first row. I'm going to do a 2x2 ribbed brim. I don't know if I want the brim to flip up and over or not. We're going to see how long it takes me to even do like that much of a brim, and then maybe if I'm feeling up to it, I'll do it some more so I can actually have a nice like flip up for the brim. But for now, I'm just going to do 2x2, knit 2, purl 2. So I finished the first round. That only took 3 minutes, 2 minutes, more than that. I've already lost track. 5 minutes. When did I start? 37? 10 minutes. Oh gosh. So the first round is always the slowest round, obviously. It's always kind of the most cumbersome. But we're starting to cruise around. The stitches are getting easier now. So I'm just gonna keep knitting. I already messed up. I did 3 purls instead of 2 purls right here. I can even see it. Luckily it's only like 7 stitches back, but still I'm gonna have to carefully undo some stuff here. Fixed it. Now we're back in action. Back on schedule, back on track. 11:30 and here's what I've got so far. Making good progress. Keeping everything very tight, but I could probably try it on, but I don't want it to slide off the needles. But you can see it kind of expands nicely. It's a nice size. I kind of like it. I don't mind the color. I actually wasn't sure about this yarn when I first got it, but things are shaping up nicely. I've finished the brim, and so now I'm just straight knitting until forever, I guess. I'm just gonna do stockinette stitch all the way around. It takes me about 5 minutes to do one round. I've timed myself, so I don't know. And I mean, this took me 2 hours to do, but the first couple rounds are always a little slow, and now that I'm just straight knitting, I'm able to go a lot faster. So I think I should be able to finish this maybe in just another 2 hours or hour and a half even, depending on how big I want to make it. I don't know, I'm just kind of mumbling now. I've been doing this for too long. I'm bored, my hands hurt. I have been keeping myself entertained. I've been listening to podcasts. I am getting a little hungry. Maybe I'll turn on the TV. I also think it helps that it's in the round. When you're knitting a scarf, you're constantly finishing a row and then switching things, and you're always kind of stopping and assessing where you're at. When you're knitting in the round, there's no reason to stop knitting. You just keep knitting, 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 and knitting for infinity. But it's nice. It's not, I mean, it's fun to knit, honestly. It's a nice kind of meditative thing. It makes you go slow. You don't do anything else. For the most part, I'm just sitting here knitting, and it's calming, it's peaceful, it's transcendent. It's been about 4.5 hours and I have finished the hat. It's actually a gray hat. It's kind of the perfect fit, and it looks nice. I like the yarn. So for those of you keeping score at home, that's 4.5 hours for a pretty simple stockinette normal beanie with a 2x2 rib on, I think these are 6mm needles. The yarn is size 4, I think, medium. Pretty basic yarn. 4.5 hours. If you can do faster than that, let me know. Maybe we can petition the Olympics to start a category for knitting. I hope you enjoyed this very scientific experiment. And I am gonna go rest my fingers. Actually, I'm gonna crack my knuckles. Yep, there you go. And then I'll see you next time.